universe comes to a world of magic as science and the arcane combine to make marvels. Meet steampunk inventors and orc mystics at the Volsun Hub on beastsofwar.com. From Viking halls to the cities of the future, terrain buffs will love our foreground hub. Watch gaming tables of all genres come to life at beastsofwar.com.
Hey everybody, it is time for another AdeptiCon Talks, and today in studio we are joined by Hank and Matt, and we are ready to catch up on how things are going for the show. It's getting close. Is it getting nerve-wracking?
Yeah, I mean, this is the time when we start to sweat a little bit because we're definitely within an earshot of going live with AdeptiCon. So under 2 months.
Well, it looks like it is going to be an amazing show this year. You guys have events have stepped up, vendors have stepped up. There's going to be lots to do, lots to see, lots to buy.
Yes, I think we're in the neighborhood of 70 vendors.
Holy cow, wow.
Something like that, 60, 70 vendors. We've expanded the vendor hall, so if you're there last year, we've added maybe about a third more space to the vendor hall.
Nice.
Which has allowed us to bring in some more vendors and also kind of move a lot of the company demos and stuff like right in how some of the larger conventions do it, which allows us to sort of kind of consolidate some of that stuff and let them leave stuff set up and all of that. So I think the vendor hall will be a much more like kind of happening spot. It's same location, so we've got the entire ballroom this year, like all 3 sections of it, where last year we only had 1 section just for like the first 2 days. And the vendor hall's like smack dab in the middle of that. So there's like a ton of 40K gaming going on over there, a ton of X-Wing over there, and vendor hall right in between. So it should be good.
Yeah.
Awesome. So speaking of X-Wing, got Fantasy Flight bringing the Open again this time?
Yeah, Hoth Open back to AdeptiCon. So that event was first year last year, very successful. Fantasy Flight is debuted and previewed all the Open Series swag that they're giving away. Some outstanding,
and it's cool stuff.
It is
really cool stuff.
And I believe they just had their first Open Series event, just this past weekend. So that's going off, and always a good time.
Definitely. So what is new this year? What's different?
Well,
so much, probably too much to list, but
I mean, everything's turned up a notch. There's more hobby seminars this year than we've ever had. In fact, we had to add an extra room for that just to accommodate the new classes and lectures. There are a lot of like smaller to medium events that have come in and are performing really, really well. Drop Zone Event Commander and Drop Fleet Commander both, I think, had to be expanded.
That's great.
We've just expanded Wrath of Kings. The Dark Age stuff has done really well. So, I mean, it's a lot of events like that we've had for a couple of years are really, like, starting to kind of come into their own. And so, like, it's great to see, those events filling out and selling out and having to, expand. And
testament to kind of the process that we've gone through the last couple of years with events. Guild Ball, those, last year coming back, success off of last year, coming back this year and performing well. And then
all the Spartan stuff is doing really well. So, I'd like to see that because, what we've seen a lot over the years is when people used to come to Adepticon, they would come and play 4 straight days or whatever it was at the time, probably 3 straight days of 40K. And it was like, I'm going to get 16 games of 40K and then collapse, right?
Yeah.
You just don't see that anymore. You just see a lot of diversity in like what people are playing. Like, you have a lot of people who come just for like the hobby seminar side and just kind of treat it like a mini university. But, you see just such a mismatch of like games and stuff that people sign up for. Which is interesting to see. I mean, I'm like that, and most gamers are all over the board. So you're starting to see that, like people maybe realizing like I do it with Gen Con. I'm like, well, I better slow down here. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to
Is there
burn
really
myself
any
out.
such thing as slowing down when it comes to that? But
I think with the rise of like the social nature of these types of events, I think people are recognize the fact that it's really valuable just to leave some time to hang out.
Absolutely.
And catch up with people that you might just know online or you only see a few times a year. So
Yeah, and I mean, and we're also offering up a wide variety of event formats. If you look at, what this is our 15th year, right? So 15 years ago, it was, one flavor of 40K to play, and now when you come to AdeptiCon, there's 18 different flavors of 40K if that's your game. So you can play Combat Patrol or Horus Heresy, and so you can mix it up a little bit, play a little lighter format, and you see people taking advantage of that. I think the other thing that's new is while AdeptiCon has a long history with Games Workshop from our earliest, from our very beginning when Games Workshop Midwest here in the U.S. We were working pretty heavily with them in getting AdeptiCon off the ground 15 years ago. Now, I think unless you've been living under a rock, you know that Games Workshop is really made some changes with kind of their social media efforts and community outreach efforts and the Warhammer community blog and that team. And they're coming to AdeptiCon. And so where we've always kind of had the Forge World presence, the Warhammer community team will be on site. They're bringing a massive amount of staff, design team, designers, authors,
social media crew,
Duncan on the painting and hobby side.
Very
several
cool.
seminars that they're involved in this year, both from rules design to painting to Black Library kind of oriented stuff. So
engaging with us, really like never before.
Yeah. And
so
Thursday night they're running the big kind of studio preview event.
Yeah, that is very
which
exciting.
Should be interesting. And a couple hundred people already signed up for that. So.
Yeah, that's you're interested in Games Workshop, that's something not to miss.
Yeah, well, we're definitely sitting in on that one, so we will have that one covered for sure. But you know what else really got my attention is that they're going to play, too. It's one thing to be there, but they're going to play.
Yeah, studio design team playing in the team tournament.
And some of the Age of Sigmar events.
And the Age of Sigmar events. Yeah. They.
So, they might not make it the whole time, but they'll be there for some of the games. And
no, I think that's great. I mean, there's engaging the community, and there's really getting in the trenches there and playing. I mean, I think that's pretty exciting.
Which is great. I mean, in the years past, we've had some, Games Workshop celebrity types who have come to be our guest of honor, and they've played in some of the events. And one that we will be having back this year, right? Back from way back when. This is AdeptiCon number 1, 2003. We had Paul Sawyer from White Dwarf come over at that point in time. We did a nice article and I don't know, White Dwarf 238 or something like that. It was way back when, and played Warhammer Fantasy and did an article on it. And Paul now is with Warlord and will be coming back to AdeptiCon 2015 this year. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, that's exciting.
That is pretty cool.
So full circle.
The circle's complete.
Until we're an 80-person event again at another convention. Then
right.
Yeah. So what are some key dates people need to know at this point?
Right. So the registration card is open until the 24th of February. I think 5 p.m. Central Time it'll close. At that point, pretty much registration will be closed. So if you need to make any changes or you haven't even signed up yet, perhaps you need to do that before then. We close the cart down so we can just kind of get data prepped and stuff printed and all of that. It just takes a long time. That's probably the most important date right now. Most of our big events, the rules have been finalized as of today, really. So anything going forward will just be minor changes for clarity or big release drops or something that falls within the window and we have to make some adjustments. That's really it. Other than that,
vendor hall listing will be going up shortly.
We'll be posting
if it's not already up by the time this airs. And
cool.
Then, packets and missions and that sort of material. Final FAQ for major events will go up.
We'll be utilizing the guidebook app again this year for the convention, which we started last year. So that'll be released, before, of course, before the event.
Right.
And that'll, so that'll have interactive maps again and a list of our, information about all the vendors and, everything that's kind of going on there. So, I mean, that was very highly utilized last year. In fact, the guidebook rep I talked to is sort of blown away about the utilization that we had.
That's cool. That's great.
So we're going to bring that back. So that'll probably be coming out, I would say, beginning of March, I'd imagine. You'll be able to download that ahead of time, pre-populate your schedule if you want. So.
So how did it go this year with the cart being configured differently as far as the badges? Because I know that was a kind of cool change to start with, because I know folks that had difficulties sometimes with, is there swag left, is there not swag left, or now I'm in for that event and no, now it's full, and then it'd kick you out. So I know. Yeah.
There's a few limitations with the system we're currently using, which is getting a major overhaul in the next few months. So next year we'll have a new system we'll work with. But the two bottlenecks was one that we created initially with these, the way we've traditionally done badges with VIG and stuff. And then the other one is just a symptom of the system itself, which is, you have to finish a cart checkout for those tickets to be yours, right?
Sure.
So people put stuff in their cart, they go to checkout, it's sold out, causes a problem. So we eliminated that first bottleneck, which was our problem, which is limited badge types, and kind of converted the badges almost into like items in a store, right? And that solved that problem in terms of like before, if VIG sold out, not only did you not get VIG, but you had to like basically nuke your entire cart and start over again. Yeah. Now you could just drop the VIG and check out and keep going.
That's good.
I mean, you have 1,900 people registering in the first 30 minutes for an event. You're always going to have something like that. Of course. And honestly, our biggest problems are some of the smaller, more popular events. Like, the Horse Heresy events are extremely popular. I mean, I think some of those events had twice the amount of people on the wait list.
Wow.
By the end of opening night than they had total tickets available. So
Isn't that something?
There's only so much we can do at that point when there's that sort of demand, on those types of events. And those guys want to run what they're comfortable with. And so that's, so.
And it speaks to the kind of the quality of event that they put on. And,
great event.
It's bigger isn't always necessarily better when it comes to some of those events. And so if you want to keep a certain vibe and
Oh yeah, you can totally change the game experience by making it go, so we're going to take in everybody,
We're very comfortable running with it.
I think the thing that we were most interested in doing this year was the expansion of things like X-Wing and a lot of other events where, people might not be coming for the entire weekend. And then also with this sheer number of people that are coming to AdeptiCon now, we just got to the point where we kind of tipped over the line with swag bags and stuff like that. So we just basically wanted to give people, one, the option whether or not you even wanted it, and two, a lower point of entry to just come to the convention. If you don't care about any of that stuff, there's no need for you to pay for a swag bag, right? And that seems to have worked out really well. I mean, the swag bags will sell out in their entirety. I'm almost positive there's just like maybe 100 left out of 1,300 or something.
Which was an increase over last year. So we had the same number.
Last year we only had 700.
We would have sold out.
Wow. Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's generally been worked out. And that was one more bottleneck. Last year the VIG sold out and then the regular bags sold out. And, well, now that wasn't even an issue. That was completely off the table. So it'll be interesting to see what they change for 2018. I mean, they listen to us because we're a completely bizarre event for them. They look
Really?
at how many sessions we have, and they're like,
crazy.
What? Like, we break their system.
I was going to say you test their limits then. Sure.
Like, we break the admin side of their system because they can't even sort it. There's too many events.
Wow.
It doesn't sort alphabetically because they don't know what to do with over 250 events or whatever. So they listen to us because we're such an odd example, even though we're not Microsoft or some other company that they might
do business with.
Yeah. So be interesting to see if we scored any points with them.
Right? I can't see how you couldn't, that's for sure.
Well, and I think, the biggest change from my perspective with registration is we did lower that bar entry. So now, you know, if you want to come to Adepticon for 4 days, you know, it's $30.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Can't beat that.
Yeah. I mean, that's, you know, I travel around a lot of different shows, a lot of different types of conventions, a lot of different types of entertainment. That's a pretty good value. And, you know, it's one of the things we wanted to do was if somebody didn't, you know, you've done the review every year of the swag bag.
Yep.
It's amazing. And this year it's even going to be more amazing.
Oh, you heard it here. You heard it here.
It's crazy. But, you know, beyond that, you know, if you just want to come and play board games for the weekend, or you just want to come and play X-Wing, or, you know, and I think that's been successful and it's given people options. So I've always said you can come to Adepticon and, you know, on a very small budget if you really wanted to. And this year we made it even more possible. So that's great.
It is great. And I think that's one of the things I love best about your show, too, is that there's so many different ways to explore gaming, you know. So there's for the people that are like all in and tournament heavy. Then there's the super casuals. Then there's the ones that maybe just don't game all that much at all and are coming along with somebody who's really in it. And there's all kinds of things to see and do. And I said the board game library I think is great. And then Catan, you've added a Catan event this year,
US qualifier,
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so there's I think 4 rounds for that, and then a finals on Sunday.
Yeah, so if Settler's your thing, you can win a trip to the national event that they're hosting.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, you know, the whole badge change just makes on-site for us, like not having to deal with day badges, not having to deal with, you know, it's a $5 increase to come for all 4 days as opposed to 1 day last year. So, you know, I think that it was a logical change across the board and makes life a lot easier for us at least.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's have a look at all of the awesome goodies that you brought here. So what are we looking at?
Well, I mean, first, I mean, I think last year this was something new last year. One of the things that we wanted to move to was make sure that you know, we're now doing somewhere. I think last year we did 600 different awards across. You know, how many different events do we have now on the cart?
450-ish.
Yeah, 450 different events, and so coming up with a way in which we can provide, you know, high quality award for the winners, and in some cases, you know, the different categories of overall sportsman, best painted, those sort of things, has been a challenge. And when you're talking about doing plaques at that volume, or you're talking about doing, you know, statues at that volume, you know, transporting that, all that kind of stuff. So for a long time we had this, and then we debuted this last year, and I think this went over extremely well. People were, I think, very happy with these awards. And so, you know, it's kind of a 2-stage sort of plan. We're coming back with these medallions again this year. You know, we have an acrylic backing that goes to that to make it year specific and to, you know, personalize the awards. And then, you know, my wife's sewing all the ribbons, so
God bless her.
That gets me in trouble. But I did order the ribbon this time before a month before the event.
That's good.
So there's that. And then the other thing that we've always wanted to do is, you know, for events that maybe aren't the biggest events, maybe they're, you know, 12 to 24 players, and we have a lot of those events. And in some cases, that's just the size of the event, right? I mean, for things like Space Hulk and some of our other events, that's the size they're going to be. So we want to make sure that we have a way beyond. I mean, to come to Adepticon, you're taking time off, you're investing a lot of time and energy, as well as probably, you know, a good amount of resources. So we want to make sure that we're providing, you know, a great experience. And so whenever I would go to a show and I'd get handed a piece of 8.5 by 11 certificate, I just hated that. And so for years, we you know, for years we had to do it too. But
sure.
I've been trying and pushing away to where we're giving something tangible to everyone that is winning an award. And so we created this 50 millimeter set, which with a little stand, and you
I
can
love
show
this.
those off.
I love this.
So basically, we put together a package of, best overall, best general, best sportsman, best painted, and they have the same sort of back that'll have an acrylic piece insert, and in the back that'll personalize it. But that's something that then you can display on your game shelf or your display cabinet.
That is really nice.
Yeah,
I like those a lot.
Yeah.
And they look so nice. I can just picture that lined up on your table, for your event too. I mean, it automatically looks like there is like really something there for your winners.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're gold.
They're gold, I know, and they're nice, weighty.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that really impressed me is the actual heft of these. It's not like you're picking up something that's light. It's got a little bit of weight to it, which is good. Everybody in the bag is going to get a commemorative AdeptiCon 15 pin.
I like these a lot.
Those will go in all the swag bags. And then last year...
Decking out your lanyards.
Yeah, decking out lanyards, for sure. Last year we did a kind of a challenge coin. They're limited to 300. This year we had a new design. I really like the way this turned out. And I don't... I know there's still some available, but they've been highly popular. So, if you want one, get it reserved before.
Those are very nice. What numbers are we looking at right here on the table?
Number 1 and number 4.
Wow. So, yeah, special.
Definitely when you do get it, if you go up and you get it early in the weekend, you can kind of request what number you want if you get there early enough. So. Number 1 won't be available though, I can tell you.
Yeah.
That. So, and
I might have to lobby for 22.
22.
I may have to lobby for 22.
But no, the way these turned out, really amazing. And then we've had a pretty standard dice design that we've been using over the years that we really like, and we actually have a dice vendor that we've been dealing. Oh, you need a white one?
Yeah. Let's mix it up.
Let's mix it up. But yeah, really happy and pleased with the way those turned out. We've had how many years now have we been casting dice?
4.
I like the colors. I really like the colors of these a lot.
I think at that point we've done this design in probably 6. It's probably like 9 or 11 colors maybe at this point.
Yeah, probably.
So, and I think we'll probably retire it after this year and move on to something else.
Yeah.
We're looking for a new design after this year, so this will be the last year for this design, and it turned out great.
It sure did. They look really nice. I like the color choices a lot too.
Yeah.
We've also worked with Games and Gears over the past couple of years, and they've been producing Adepticon brush set for us. So there's both a synthetic one and a what's it called?
Kolinsky. Sable Kolinsky.
Yeah, so they're available in the cart also.
Is this open? Of course not. Almost, maybe, kind of, sort of.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Well protected.
So that's in a
these are
0,
very
double
nice.
0, and a 000, and then this is in a
0, 1, and 2.
Yeah, 0, 1, and 2. The this is the synthetic one, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So new synthetic design from them. So that's brand new, and then this is the other one is their new Mark II Sable Kolinsky brush.
These are great brushes. And they go so fast. I mean, like, people are always lined up at that stand, and they don't last long.
Yeah. And if you get one of the sets, it comes with this. I mean, I'm not the best painter in the world.
I don't even think you're a painter, are you?
Probably not. Probably not. But it comes with this great brush soap.
Soap and a rag, and like there's a couple different combinations of these on the site. So. In addition to this stuff, I mean, we produce the standard. We'll have a T-shirt and a pub glass, and what else? We got a new mat design this year for our tables. So last year we did grass and concrete. We're adding desert. to the mix.
Oh,
this
nice.
year. So as we've done them in different sizes too. We've got I think last year we just did 2x2 and 4x6. This year we'll have some 4x4s to accommodate combat patrol sized events.
Some 3x3s.
And 3x3s, yeah. So
awesome.
And we're slowly expanding that inventory and adding more and more weight to our trailers.
Yeah, that's a massive undertaking to get all that stuff in and out.
Yeah, when you're talking about, the number of tables that we're doing, trying to put an 8-pound mat on every single table, you're talking about 400 plus table surfaces.
Mm-hmm. It looks so nice, though.
It does.
What a nice step, in a great direction, because it really dresses those tables up.
Oh, absolutely. And we also are still working with Game Mat EU and Table War.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of their mats as well, and so it's a great mix of those. And we're going to have a couple new mat vendors at AdeptiCon. I believe Cigar Box Mats, right? And then Mats by Mars has been at AdeptiCon, traditionally kind of been in the Badger booth area, but they're going to have their own space. So good stuff.
Definitely. Well, I'm excited. I know, and you guys are excited, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
The excitement is probably a little less under there for you guys because it's more busy than but you'll hit that adrenaline stride as you get just a little bit closer here. But it's going to be a great show.
This is where you start worrying about shipping dates and where does it have to go, and you're tracking shipments and trying to make sure everything arrives. And
Hank dealing with me saying, "That's it. It's my last year."
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It wouldn't be a show if you didn't say it.
At least 10 years in a row. Yeah. Especially this is really crunch time for us, and it takes a lot of time and effort. We have a great pool of volunteers. Over 100 people help out make this convention happen, and it's a lot of time and effort for them during this time period. And it's amazing every year the effort that's involved, but then sort of the reality of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I calm down. After the show, I usually feel much better about things.
Oh yeah, and you're like, that was it went really well. Yeah.
So smooth.
Yeah.
Well, then I also realized, I get to play my games now, instead of working on those.
Right. Yes.
So it's after it's over with, everything usually is much better. So, but right now, nose to the grindstone.
Yeah. I mean, this is not Matt and my full-time job, so we have to do this on our hobby time essentially. So
that is a testament to how much you like the hobby.
Yeah.
I mean, truly. Because it is a wonderful show.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Well, thanks so much for spending time with us, guys. Gianna and I will be at the show. We will be live blogging. So if there are specific things that you want to see, things you want to hear more about, you just need to make sure you drop them in comments below, and we will make our list and we will start chasing things down. And if there are things that we can get answered from the guys before, we will do what we can to bring that to you. And until then, make sure you sign up. We've got until February 24th to do that, and hopefully we will see you at the show.
Humanity has been driven from Earth, but now it's time to take it back. Join the Reconquest and fight the Scourge on the Drop Zone Commander Hub at beastsofwar.com. Become a general of mighty armies at the Kings of War Hub. Take command of elves, dwarves, and orcs in this game of massed fantasy combat on beastsofwar.com.